the arts.
This is WMNF Tampa 88.5 FM, Community Conscious Radio.
Want to hear what one listener called the most disrespectful show he's heard in 20 years?
Join Donna, Liz, and Amina at 10 a.m. on Thursdays for Surly Voices.
A fresh, fun, feminist take on current events, politics, and social justice.
Slaying the patriarchy, one show at a time.
Surly Voices, Thursday at 10 a.m. on WMNF 88.5 and WMNF.org.
Shadows cast by rainbows, there you'll meet the sage. Feeding rabbits bits of lettuce or cleaning out the cage. He can give you more direction than you've ever known. Show you your brown baby shoes now, my how you have grown. Ain't it nice to fly? You're waving as soft clouds go by, but peace won't on free will. Say you want to go exploring, you got to find some truth. You can't stand one more day of Christians shouting down at you. You say you don't dig politics, that never was your bag. People who could run for office wave their private flags. As all clouds go by, but peace won't be still of its own free will.
Is that Walter?
You're tuned to the Sunday Forum.
All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Sunday Forum in the Fourth Estate. This is Miss Annie. Happy Sunday, everybody. Okay. I think, is that Walter we have on the line? Is that Walter?
It is.
It is. Okay, go ahead, sir. How we doing this morning?
All right. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Sunday Forum right here on WMNF 88.5 Tampa, Sarasota, St. Pete. This is the voice of the Tampa Bay area, Walter L. Smith, along with the members of the Fourth Estate crew. And this is Women's Month. Happy Women's Month, the first week of Women's Month.
That is correct. International Women's Day, to be exact.
Yes.
And we have a
Yes,
packed
I give
show.
it a month. I give it a month.
We have a packed show today, and it's going to be hosted and everything by all women today. So Walter is here today to say hello to everybody, and then he's going to leave it to the ladies, okay?
Yeah, leave it to the ladies.
Yes. So any announcement you want to make before you depart from us, sir?
None.
Okay.
I just want to say, everybody enjoy the show, and I want to say welcome to our guest, Miss Erica Hardison.
Hello.
Good morning.
Thank you, Walter. I'm so happy to be a guest host today.
All right. She's gonna do it up for y'all. She's gonna do it for y'all, St. Pete style. And I am out of the way.
There we go.
All right.
Peace, everybody. And I love you all.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys, we have a very, very exciting show today. You know how Miss Annie loves entrepreneur component of the show. You know I love empowering women and us being out there in the forefront, and making sure things happen, because sometimes it don't get done right unless it's done by a woman, okay? That's how I feel. So I'm going to speak first real quick about the guest that we have, and as Walter stated, Miss Erica Hardison here with us, and she's going to co-host with me today. So she has some guests coming in as well. But the main thing we want to point on is, again, today is International Women's Day. And their theme, and I love it so much, is give to gain. So just to give you a little backstory real quick, Mabili, yesterday I went to the 200 Muslim Women Who Care, okay? And that event, it was a TEDx event. It was absolutely awesome. It was at USF. When I say to you, I saw so many women get up there and speak, to their cause, and you could see the passion. And don't get me wrong, it was women and men, of course, but just to speak to the cause of what they were doing, and it was all about giving back. We all are here connected. We're all connected together, regardless of your geographical area. Miss Annie always says that. So today, for it to be International Women's Day, and we have all these empowering women with us, I came with like 3 C's. Okay, I came with like 3 C's. We have community, right? And I love that. And we have courage, right? And I love this. We have the creativity and everything. And these are things that puts us in that position to help others, because someone helped us to get to where we are, and it's only right that we pay it back. And that's how I look at it. So when I was at the 200 Million Women Who Care event, TEDx, I thought about that, and then I looked at the website for the International Women's Day, and their slogan, again, give to gain. And I just want to read this real quick before we move forward. They're celebrating 115 years of International Women's Day. Actually started in 1911, okay? And I love this statement that they have here. International Women's Day has been around for over 100 years, as many of the issues still impacting women's advancement. Since 1911, International Women's Day belongs to all who care about gender equality, celebrating women's achievement, raising awareness about discrimination, and taking action to forge gender parity. Okay, all activity is valid. That's what makes it so inclusive, and that is really what it's about. That is truly what it's about. I want to point out to one of the other statements that was made by someone we all know, Gloria Steinem. So this is something that she stated, which makes so much sense for us to all realize how important, and for those that were before us, and they paved the way. The story of a woman's struggle for equality belongs to no single feminist, nor to any one organization, but to the collective efforts of all who care about human rights. And that is so true. That is so very, very true. We have some guests with us today, and they come from different backgrounds. So some of them are here, and some will be here later. But I'm just going to touch real quick on who they are and why they're with us, and then we'll continue on with the show. And Mabili, I want to know how your weekend is as well, because you are, our resident male right now today, and our DJ. So I don't want you to think we're forgetting you. But we may receive phone calls from Host Services. They was with us on the show previously, talking about all the programs that they offer to the community, helping with disability, second chance. I mean, they have a wealth of information and resources that can help those that don't know about the organization. We also have with us in-house today Miss Stephanie Brown. She's Gowns for Girls. She's going to tell you about her organization, how she got started, and why it was so important for her to start her organization to feed the community for young girls to have to feel beautiful, basically, gowns for girls. We're going to have Shakari Wilson. Shakari Wilson, she will be joining us soon. She's coming from Minority Health Coalition. That's in Pinellas County. And is it Jevely Robinson? Jevy. Okay, we call it Jevy. Okay. Black Voters Matter. And I just want to say, again, Miss Erica, just so you guys know, she's coming from the One Community Growing Store. And that's in St. Pete,
yes,
right?
One Community Grocery Co-op.
Grocery Co-op, okay. So tell us a little bit about that.
So One Community Grocery Co-op is a startup grocery store for South St. Pete, and it's following the cooperative model. So it is owned by the community, by the people who shop there, and we have a voice in what goes on in the co-op, what everything looks like, what foods we carry, what the building will look like, and how employees will be treated and things like that. So One Community Grocery Co-op, unlike conventional grocery stores, starts with a challenge. Mm-hmm. In South St. Pete, the challenge was food access and food sovereignty, also health and nutrition. And then our third challenge was economic development. So like when you talk about entrepreneurship and how money flows through the community, that was a major concern for us when we started One Community Grocery Co-op. And it came really, like I said, out of a challenge or a need in South St. Petersburg. There are no grocery stores. And we had a couple to come in. And then when they could not make the profits that they wanted, they left. And so that happened twice. So the community said, like, hey, we need food. Everybody needs food to survive. And we want it in a dignified way. And we wanted to be an economic driver in our community. So we started One Community Grocery Co-op.
I love that. And again, it goes to those 3 C's: collaboration, creativity, and community. It all comes together because, again, we are all connected. So I do love that. What was the passion for you? Like you said, you saw the need, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a community that you grew up in? Or?
No, I my mother says I have made it home, but it is not a community that I grew up in. But I've been in South St. Petersburg for about 25 years, a little over 25 years. But have always been a community advocate, was a teacher for a long time. I've been involved in the urban gardening movement and agriculture in St. Petersburg. I always tell people food is one of my first loves, so I like to eat it, I like to grow it, I like to cook it. Whatever you want to talk about food, I'm there for it. So it was kind of a natural fit. And what happened, a little bit more about the history, is that in St. Petersburg, I like to say, like, we have a history of advocacy, a history of, being on the ground and grinding and making things happen and really trying to change the trajectory of what is status quo or, the norm. So what happened in around 2017, there were a group of residents who started organizing under the banner of something called the New Deal for St. Pete. And it was really an organizing strategy for people in South St. Pete and marginalized communities to gain political power, right? Mm-hmm. Because we always have people who are coming up for election, and during election season, they're there for you, right? They're there, they're knocking on your door and everything like that. But after election season, what happens?
That's right.
Where they get elected or they don't get elected, and then you don't see them till the next time. So Brother John Muhammad was the leader of the New Deal for St. Pete, and then he built this coalition, and everybody came together and decided, like, what do we want South St. Pete to look like? What do we want our neighborhoods to embody? And so we started knocking on doors, having meetings, and what came out of that were some points of progress. And one of the points of progress was cooperative development, right? Cooperative businesses. And the first cooperative business that came out of that was One Community Grocery Co-op.
That is absolutely awesome, and I'm glad you made some real important points. One, politicians come out when they need you, right? And they come out and they see what it is your need is, and they tell you, yes, I'm going to feed that need for you. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. If they win, you're happy if you do see them again, once you got them that seat at the table. And that's what Ms. Annie always says, accountability, hold them accountable to that. But the fact that you guys said we're not going to wait for you to do it, we're going to go ahead and take action on our own. You started a grassroots program of your own, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And it, like I said, it consists of knocking on those doors saying, hey, you're a part of this community. How can we help serve you and we serve each other? Because that's really what it's about.
Right.
You know, and doing those gardens, and I'm so happy to see that in a lot of communities. I'm originally from New York, all right, and I do not have a green thumb. Okay, I'm very honest about that. I do not have a green thumb.
It's okay.
I honestly and truthfully live in Brandon right now, and I had a fake garden, okay? I'm being so truthful about that. However, I love when I go by in certain communities, I see those community gardens. You know, somebody took a little space that was there that used to be nothing but trash or grass, and they cleaned it up, and now they're bringing life from that, from those grass, from the roots, and I love that. So when you guys initially got together, how many people from the community came in? How was it? You know.
Well, I mean, it was. I can't even tell you how many people, because there was a number of organizations that came together. So there were probably at least 10 plus organizations, and probably more than that. And don't quote me on the number. And if Brother John, if you're listening, please call in and verify these numbers. But the other thing was, it's like you said, it was a canvassing and knocking on doors to get the community's input, because it wasn't just about the organizations, because organizations are nothing without the people who are behind them. And so with the organizations came together, and I believe the survey had about 1,400 people.
Wow.
Right? And those people, we asked questions, they answered questions, and then we compiled the data, we met, and things like that, because we were putting a plan together for our community, not just to give to one politician, but to put everybody on notice.
Exactly.
This is what we want. So if you have a skill or expertise that you're willing to lend, please come join us. Please come help make this community what we want it to be, and not, some outside external force.
I love that. And so that consists of the small businesses in that area as well, participating. And everybody had their own gifts, and they brought those gifts to the table to make everyone whole. I absolutely love that. And speaking of the politicians that's in that area, did you get a lot of support once they saw that this is what the community want and need?
Oh, yeah, of course. We got a lot of support. We got Brother John. It's interesting. Brother John eventually actually became a council member. And then we got other council members elected for those districts in our area, because we were really hyper-focused on South St. Pete. And that's one of the things for One Community Grocery Co-op. We belong to an ecosystem of co-ops. We have sibling co-ops in Michigan, in North Carolina, in California, in Ohio, New York, all over the country. But what makes a co-op great is it's really specific to the community that you live in. And it really meets the needs and the voices of the community members in that neighborhood, in that community, are heard above all other voices. And so we were able to, get a lot of strides through the work that Brother John and the New Deal for St. Pete did. And then the co-op, again, is like a branch off of that, is one of the key things that the community wanted to see implemented. So we just started implementing. We went to conferences.
Yes.
We have won national awards. In 2014, we were nominated for 2 awards. And then in 2024, we were nominated for 2 awards. And then in 2025, we actually received the W.E.B. Du Bois Education Award. And cooperatives operate off of 7 cooperative principles, and Principle 5, is education, training, and information.
Come on.
So we always say we are more than a grocery store.
That part.
We are here to educate the community. We are here to train the community. One of our principles is democratic participation. So we talk about civic engagement beyond the ballot. And when Jevy comes from Black Voters Matter, she'll talk more about that because it's more than just participating when we're voting.
Right.
It's having a voice in the vote before and those policies and who's elected and just things that you want to see in your neighborhood. There are in our cities and most cities around the country, there you can be on boards and be an advisor to your politicians or to those elected officials and those city staff because they actually work for us.
That's right.
And a lot of people are like, I want you. No, you actually work for us. And so we want to hold not only elected officials accountable, but the city council and administrators are accountable as well.
Well, I got the right person with me because I love that. You're right. Hold them accountable. You're absolutely right. They absolutely, positively work for us. And Brother John, if you're listening, and all our listeners, okay, if you have any questions for Erica and the other guests that we're going to have, come on, please call in at 813-239-9663. Because, again, as always, here at the Sunday Forum, we want to make sure you are informed. We want to make sure we educate you. We want to make sure you know about these resources that's available to you so that after the show is over, you can continue to move forward and find more information that you can share with your community. So let me ask you this, Erica. You guys got all this situated. You're connecting with the other collective coalitions and everything. So I love how you said it's not just a grocery store, right? So when you guys got together and you did the paneling and you did the asking questions from the community and saying what you guys need, how did you guys come up with the other services that was going to be offered or that you are offering?
That's all through the membership. So that's one of the benefits of being a member of One Community Grocery Co-op. Like I said, we're an association of people. We are a membership organization, so you do have to join. And so our members are the ones who are on committees, who give ideas. We had a member who wanted to do a drum circle. And so we got all our members together and they said, yeah, let's do it. And the drum circle ended up being a phenomenal hit and we continue to do it. And also it brought us more members, right? And so members had an idea to do a Jazz in the Park festival to get awareness about the co-op out. So we did that. Members are involved in the environment and different other aspects of our lives. So we do cleanups. We're all about health as well. So we have members who put on health events and things like that. And anything that we do at One Community Grocery Co-op is in collaboration with someone else. Like collaboration is in our name. We are cooperators. So we are looking for people who are mission aligned with us and who want to give back to the community and not extract from the community. And so we do everything in partnership and in collaboration.
Awesome. So, guys, if you're just tuning in, we're talking today on the Sunday Forum with Ms. Erica Hardison. We have some other guests coming on as well. But the overall goal that we're speaking today is about International Women's Day and women that are being involved and making sure their community and the world as a whole, they're giving back. They're giving back. And basically the key is give to gain. Give to gain. And again, why? Because we're all connected. We're speaking about collaboration. We're speaking about creativity. We're speaking about community. And we're doing it today with these powerful women that are here to say, I want you to be a part of it. So with that being said, Erica, if someone wants to be a part of, like I said, join your co-op, how could they get in touch with you? What's the website?
Yeah, so they can go to www.ocgc.coop. And again, that's www.ocgc or One Community Grocery Co-op .coop. It's spelled like coop, but it stands for co-op. You can also reach us by phone at 727-342-0334. And we have a long email, but it's really easy to remember. It's One Community Grocery Co-op at gmail.com. And we're on social, so please like our Facebook and Instagram pages, send DMs if you have questions, and share our information, because we have a saying in the co-op world that we are stronger together.
Absolutely.
And so anything we tell people, it's great if you can donate financial resources, but we as a community are full of other resources as well. So if you have any expertise to lend, we'd appreciate that. If you can just volunteer or attend an event, we appreciate that. And also, if you have any ties or want us to come speak to your organization or church or whatever you belong to and talk not only about the co-op, but really talk about food access and food sovereignty, health and nutrition, or economic development and how it affects the community, we are happy to come and talk as well.
That's awesome. Now, guys, I'm going to make another statement that, you always hear Miss Annie say, like, we just coming from Black History Month, but again, we're Black every day, okay? Now, this is Women's Month, but we're women every day. So even though you're just having this discussion now, and even though today is a specifically International Women's Day, remember, you can do this throughout the entire year. You don't have to wait just specific days or specific months to do these things. Again, it's called give to gain. The more you give, the more your whole community and you yourself internally and externally gain from it, because, again, we are all connected. So, again, you can give us a call at 813-239-9663 if you have any questions for our guest and our co-host, Ms. Erica. Also, you can email at dj@wmnf.org. The information for the co-op will also be on their website. Mobility will put it up there, so you guys can also go there and get it. I'll have one more question for you, and then we're going to go to our guest that we have here in the house with us. Okay, we're now at 8:32. So, with the co-op that you have, what you went through to get it together, right? And you got the support from the business owners and everything. Of course, I'm pretty sure the politicians, because they saw how much exposure you guys were getting, they wanted to be a part of it as well. With everything else that you guys are doing, and you're expanding, I'm guessing, correct?
Right.
You guys are going to be expanding. What is that going to look like? And do you have multiple brick and mortar buildings, or is just one location?
So, all great questions, right? So the answer to are we expanding? Yes. We have had phenomenal growth in the last year. We've increased our membership over 140%.
Ooh, yes.
So we are now at 190 members strong and growing, and are always looking for more, because the idea behind co-ops is the membership supports the store, so we don't need outside investors.
That's right.
Right? But people will be able, even, and that brings me to another thing. We actually don't have a brick and mortar yet. We are a startup, so we do produce pop-ups around the community, and our produce pop-ups are phenomenal. We have all organic, locally sourced produce. So our produce is usually picked about 24 to 48 hours before somebody actually purchases it, right? And so the nutritional value and content is so much higher than what you would receive in a grocery store. So just a little history, if you don't know, when you buy food in the grocery store, often if it's coming from, even if we say California, or even if we say, Tennessee or somewhere closer in the United States, it may take a week or days to get to us, right? And there are processes that happen with that. So, you're not really receiving the freshest of produce and what you're putting in your body. So that's one of the things that we really say. And the other piece of that is we actually support and buy from local growers. So the money that you are spending is circulating in our community and not being extracted and going to California, going to Mexico, I know you're a New Yorker, but we don't want to send money back to New York. You can. But the money stays in the community to help build the community. And in terms of like what our vision is for the future, we are building a brick and mortar store. Now, it's not there yet. The vision is there, but like I said, we're looking for expertise. So if you have a real estate, somebody who's in development and knows of a property in South St. Pete, it has to be in the zip codes 33705, 33711, and 33712, and more specifically the South St. Pete CRA, because that's where the need is. But we are looking for people to help expand our vision. So we are moving up, steadily moving, and soon we'll have a brick and mortar store. But at this point, we don't have a brick and mortar store. I will say, when we look at co-ops, even in the state of Florida, we're one of 3 co-ops, and we're the only Black-led co-op.
Come on.
And so the other 2 co-ops, one's in Tallahassee, and it's been open over 40 years. And then the other one is in Pensacola, Florida, and it's been open, I want to say, around about 60 years, maybe a little more, a little less, and they have 2 locations. So this is a reproducible or a replicable model, and it's scalable. So it's really up to the community to decide what we want it to look like, and we have a process and systems that we have in place to go through that.
So Ms. Annie asked certain questions like that for a reason, because I wanted you to put that out there. That's like a call to action for those that are listening. It's a call to action. You see the need that she's created. You see the need that's there that she's filled. And you see the need that's still necessary for them to continue to expand that brick and mortar building.
Right.
So if you are a construction, if you are in real estate and you want to do something, again, give to gain, you want to feel like you are a part of something bigger than yourself, that's your call to action right there, guys. That's it right there. That is an awesome cause that she has going on, because, again, it's not just a store. They're doing education. They're doing training. They're doing so many things that is going to help not just them themselves, but also their next generations that's up and coming. And we always need to prepare ourselves for that. Whatever we're doing now, it should be to prepare for the future generations. That's how we continue and we maintain on what we're doing. So I thank you so much. You are an extraordinary woman.
Oh, thank you.
That is what we have on the show with us today, ladies and gentlemen. Extraordinary women that are making changes in the community. So now, with that being said, I want to announce our next extraordinary woman, okay? Miss Stephanie Brown. Miss Stephanie Brown is with us, and I want her to tell you her story, but she's here for Gowns for Girls. And Miss Stephanie, I want you to tell us how that came about, the passion for it, and where you see it going. So share your vision with us.
Good morning. I feel like small potatoes. Oh. I am so small potatoes. not to connect the food, but so Gowns for Girls is a nonprofit, and we are run by women that give dresses to students who need them for their high school events.
Awesome.
So whether it's homecoming, prom, sometimes for orchestra, or military balls. So we got started in 2019. I had a student who couldn't afford our 8th grade dance. Right. And so I took her shopping and decked her out head to toe. And I thought, this was amazing. You know, it felt so good to deck her out. But then I realized, if we've got kids who can't afford, you know, a middle school dance, how are they ever going to afford the high school dances?
That's right.
So I got together with a couple friends. We did some poking around. We found Bella the Ball that was in Pinellas County. And we thought, what a great model. And we didn't have anything like that we knew of in Hillsborough County. So we decided we would just put the word out there that we wanted to collect dresses. And it took us a while, but we started summer of 2019. And by March, we were able to have our first pop-up boutique for prom.
Awesome.
And then COVID shut us down in 2020. And then we got started up again, 2021, just collecting dresses. At this point, I have about 2,000 semi-formals and 1,500 formals.
That is awesome. So let's go back for a second. So it took one child. Yeah. One child touched your heart so much, and look how many now it's spread out to.
It's amazing.
Guys, when I say to you, that's what it's about. You're giving and you're gaining so much. Can you imagine what you've done for those individuals, for those girls? You know?
I'd like to think that I did make an impact. It's hard to tell. You know, sometimes the girls come back after, you know, they shop with us for homecoming. They might come back for prom. And I think the biggest reward is just seeing them coming out of that changing room, look in the mirror. They twirl, they smile, and you know that that's the dress and that's going to make their evening, and they're going to build a memory that's going to last a lifetime.
That's a feeling of feeling loved. I mean, believe it or not, you're wrapping your arms around them. Because, again, they wanted to go to this event, but they had nothing to go with to make them feel special, and you gave them that.
Exactly.
So that built up their self-esteem, their self-worth. It impacted so many other parts of their life that you may never even know, but you know you had a hand in it, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. So in the process of doing this, because, of course, like I said, we're all connected, who did you connect with to help you house these dresses and, you know, collect them and so forth? How did that come about?
It's kind of funny. You just put it out on Facebook that you want to start this, and the dresses poured in. And literally, my friend Alicia and I, who started Gowns for Girls, literally we'd go in our van, and we would go to people's houses, and we'd pick up the dresses, and slowly we were able to get Tide dry cleaners to be our, cooperative business to, say, drop them off here. And then so they started collecting for us. We did not have a storefront, so everything was in a storage unit. And we would just call local churches saying, hey, do you have space for us so we could set up our pop-up boutique? So we'd get a truck and we'd move them from the storage unit to the event, and then have our event, and then pack it back up, put them in a storage unit. And we did that for a couple years. And then finally, just being a teacher and knowing that schools were underutilized, I was looking at my own school and realized that a middle school probably wasn't the best place to have, a prom pop-up boutique. So I looked at the high schools, and King High School was underutilized. And I reached out to Dr. Basham, the principal there, and he absolutely opened his campus to us. Gave us a nice big classroom that wasn't being used, said we could set up in the cafeteria. So now we just roll our dresses from the classroom to the cafeteria and have our pop-up boutique there in the cafeteria.
Now, see again, guys, collaboration. I'm going to say this throughout the whole show, okay? Collaboration, creativity, and community. So you went out, you saw it, you got the dresses, and you're right, Facebook, you never know. And that's what I love about it as well. Now, I'm not a social media fan, okay?
Amen.
However, when stuff like this happens, I'm like, okay, thank you. It served its purpose, because that's what it should be about. You put it out there, and the dresses came from all over.
From all over.
That's a beautiful thing. And then you say, okay, even though we went through this trial right here, packing up, storage here, storage there, you still continue to reach out, and now you connected and collaborated with King High School, and now you have a place to house your dresses. That's working together.
Yes.
You know, you persevered and everything, and I love that. I love that so much. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, okay, or they want to participate or even add to what you're doing, because believe me, you're still going to continue to expand.
Yes.
You're going to continue to grow.
Yes, we need to.
How can they do that?
Well, if they have dresses to donate, we ask them to drop them off at Tide Dry Cleaners. The campus on South Del Mabry has more space, and so Tide has asked that we use the South Del Mabry location for drop-offs, and all they have to do is say the dresses are for Gowns for Girls, and they will get them to us. Volunteering with us is a little more challenging because the county requires us to be fingerprinted, so there's a whole process. So if somebody is interested in volunteering, our email is gownsforgirls.info@gmail.com, and that's for FOR, gownsforgirls.info@gmail.com. Reach out to us there and ask about volunteering so I can help you get vetted, but it's a process. But as far as getting the word out, and we contact all the schools, all the PTAs, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, just trying to let girls know, students know, that there are dresses, they are free, they are available, and there's a perfect one for every student.
There's always something, a perfect outfit just for you. It was waiting for you to come and pick it up, which is awesome. So when you do your pop-up boutiques, what does that consist of?
It's a lot. So I have a great team of volunteers, and these ladies show up 8 o'clock at King High School. We unlock the school. We move the dresses. We have about 30 racks set for prom right now. Awesome. And we roll them. We have to first dismantle the cafeteria. So we're moving all the tables, and then we're moving in the dresses. We have to assemble our changing room. We have about 8 private changing rooms that we assemble. And we display the dresses so it looks like a boutique. We have adorable mannequins that we put our adorable dresses on to really sell the place. We put out our signs, and we hope everybody comes, because unfortunately, when you put out a flyer, you don't really get an RSVP.
Right.
So we don't know who's going to show up. So a lot of times our first boutique of the season is phenomenal, and we are inundated with like 40 to 50 students. And then throughout our pop-up boutiques, we have about 5 throughout the prom season, and then another 5 during homecoming. And we'll have maybe 20 to 30 kids, so it's a little bit smaller. And then by the end, on the last day, which is March 28th, coming up in 2 weeks, we'll probably just get a few because prom's already started.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you guys, when you come up with the date for the pop-up boutiques, do you put the advertisement also on Facebook and social media?
Yes.
Okay.
So as soon as the school gives me the dates that work for them, I create the flyer, and I actually email every principal, guidance counselor, social worker, and the ROTC at every high school in Hillsborough County. We also have connections in Pinellas County, so I get my flyer to somebody who knows the superintendent, and I hope they put it out, but I don't really have connections in Pinellas County. Then we advertise it on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else that we could find. I call the news stations. I put it out on community boards.
Awesome.
Just please support us. All we want is for students to come get a dress.
So now I know. Did you mention your Instagram also?
Yes. So our Instagram is gowns, GOWNS, _4 FOR _girls, GIRLS.
Okay, guys, so if you have any questions for Stephanie or Erica, our extraordinary women that we have in-house with us today, give us a call back at 813-239-9663. If you have any questions or if you want to participate and donate or volunteer with them, give us a call. So let me ask you this, Ms. Stephanie. When you're doing this, and you see how it's grown, and you see how the girls' lives and everything that you're changing, and when someone wants to come in and volunteer, I do love the fact, though, that they do have to go through a background check, especially with the environment and everything that we're in right now, because they're going to be around our youth. So that's a good thing. And if anyone's there and they're genuine and hard coming to do that, they won't mind doing that at all. Right. So I love that. The thing that I want to know that stands out for me is when you're seeing the need for this, and you have a child come to you, and they say, okay, well, Miss Stephanie, I want to get me a dress, or whatever the case may be. What's the follow-up after that? Have you ever had a follow-up? Like the first young lady that you did this for, did you ever see her again? What was the follow-up afterwards?
She moved on to the high school, and I did not keep track of her. And I don't even know if she knows that she's my inspiration. I'm not sure if that would be embarrassing, because, although to me, It opened a door that desperately needed to be opened. But I don't know if she would want to be known as the kid that started it. But some girls come back, and not so much to say thank you, but they'll post on Instagram. We'll see that they made it to their dance and they had fun. But I haven't actually had that connection where someone comes back and says, wow, you changed our lives. So that's what I'm just hoping, paying it forward, that we do. And we tell them, keep the dress. If it's your forever dress, have it forever. If you don't feel like this dress is something you're ever going to use again, give it back. Take it back to Tide Dry Cleaners. So it's funny, we've seen in our inventory some dresses come back. It's like, oh, I remember that dress. And so it's come back. So that's tremendous that they thought enough of us to give it back to us so we could give it again to somebody else who could love it one more time.
And I'm glad you stated that, because that's what I was alluding to when I asked that question. Because believe it or not, that young lady has changed so many other girls' lives.
Exactly.
So it wasn't her coming in feeling, oh, I'm ashamed or in need, but because you used your voice and said you needed something, you changed so many other young girls' lives, because that's what touched you to make you make this movement. So if she is listening, of you, if anyone that knows her knows this story, let her know You changed so many people's lives that you may never even meet. But because you showed your voice and you touched Stephanie Brown's heart, look how many other girls she's touched as well. And it's a lot of times, guys, and I hope our listeners are understanding this, we don't realize the things that we do, that you're touching, you're impacting somebody's life that you may never ever meet. Okay? The words that you say, the things that you hear, the information that you share, it goes beyond just where you are. And we sometimes don't understand that, you know? So this one young lady said this to you and showed she had a need, and you have touched now hundreds of other young girls' lives, you know? And for those that do come back to you and say, thank you for the dress, and it was good for them, but they give it back to you, it's because now they're sharing again as well. So it is working. It is working. Give to gain. We're talking with some extraordinary women today, and I just want to say to you guys, I'm overwhelmed with it because Miss Annie loves doing things like this. This is like the second or third round table I've done. Okay, and I always call it extraordinary women because we always have that quiet voice. No one knows. We're just supposed to be nurturers, but we're bosses. Okay, we're bosses. We're leaders. Okay, but Billy, we ain't mad at you. We appreciate you, but I'm just saying. Okay. We're bosses and leaders out here, and it's okay to show that. It's okay to share it. So thank you so much for that. Again, that was Miss Stephanie Brown for Gowns for Girls. If you have anyone that you know can benefit from her services, please give us a call at 813-239-9663. You'll also find her website on WMNF website. Mobility will have that posted up there. I just want to say to you guys, thank you again so much for joining us. We're going to continue on. We have someone else that just came into the studio with us. I'm going to let Mobility go. Which one are we pulling up? Queen Latifah or who are we pulling up?
Yeah, that's Queen Latifah's
right.
Lady First.
So we're going to go ahead with ladies first, and then we'll be right back.
The rhyme, it is wicked. Those that don't know how to be pros get evicted. A woman could bear you, break you, take you. Now it's time to rhyme. Can you relate to a sister's open up to make you holler and scream?
Hey, yo, let me take it from here, queen. Excuse me, but I think I'm about due to get into precisely what I am about to do. I'm conversating to the folks who have no whatsoever clue. So listen very carefully as I break it down for you. Merrily, 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 hyper, happy, overjoyed. Please, with all the beats and rhymes my sisters have employed. Look at who's throwing down the sound totally a yes. Let me state the position. Ladies first, yes?
Yes.
Ladies first. Believe me when I say being a woman is great to see. I know that all the fellas out there will agree with me. Not for being one, but for being with one. Cause when it's time for loving, it's the woman that gets them strong. Stepping, strutting, moving on, rhyming, cutting, and not forgetting. We are the ones to give birth to the new generation of prophets. Cause it's ladies first.
I break into a lyrical freestyle. Grab the mic, look at the crowd and see smiles. Cause they see a woman standing up on her own two. Sloppy slouching is something I won't do. Some think that we can't flow. Stereotypes, they got to go. I'ma mess around and flip the scene into reverse.
With what?
With a little touch of ladies first. You must be blind if you don't believe or hear. Listen to this rhyme. Ladies first, there's no time to rehearse. I'm divine and my mind expands throughout the universe. A female rapper with a message to send. The Queen Latifah is a perfect specimen.
My sister, can I get some?
Sure, Moni Love, grab the mic and get dumb.
Yo, praise me not for being simply what I am. Born in L.O.N.D.O. and sound American. You dig exactly where I'm coming from. You want righteous rhyming, I'ma give you some. To enable you to age yourself and get paid. And the material that has no meaning, I wish to slay. Pay me every bit of your attention, like mother, like daughter. I would also like to mention, I wish for you to bring me to the rhythm, of which is now systematically given. Desperately stressing, I'm the daughter of a sister who's the mother of a brother, who's the brother of another, plus one more. All four have have a job to do, we doing it. Respect due to the mother who's the root of it. And next up is me, the MONIELOVE. And I'm first, cause I'm an LAZIE.
Contact and in fact, the style it gets harder. Cooling on the scene with my European partner. Laying down track after track, waiting for the climax. When I get there, that's when I tax the next man or the next woman. It doesn't make a difference, keep the competition coming. And I recite chapter and verse. The title of this recital is Ladies First. Are on the mic. The scene is ripe, the crowd is hype. I expel the whack and those who bite. Why? Cause I'm that type. Swaying with beats 45 King style. He wants me to sing, but I'll swing so meanwhile. A footnote for the opposite sex. Mooney rip the mic, I rock it next. Flex, you never catch me at my worst. You get the drift? It's ladies first.
Okay. All right. Ladies first. I love Queen Latifah. Hold on. Am I on there? Can you hear me? There we go. All right. We are back. Now, I love Queen Latifah, you guys. You know that. And yes, it is always ladies first. Ladies first. Okay. So we got 4 minutes before we go to NPR. I want to close out with Stephanie Brown real quick because she does have another event that's coming up. So I want you to tell us about that and real quick. And then we'll announce our new extraordinary woman that just came into the studio with us. So tell me about the February 28th event.
All right. Oh, no, it's March 28th.
March 28th, excuse me.
March 28th. Okay, at King High School in their cafeteria. King High School's address is 6815 North 56th Street. That's in Tampa, 33610. 10 to 2, ladies shop, or students shop for free. Most gorgeous gowns you could ever imagine.
Awesome. Now, I know we've just mentioned real quick an event that you guys already had that was in February. That's a prom for students that have disabilities. Is that correct?
Yes. Tim Tebow Night to Shine is a prom that many churches will put on for their special needs community. And we also donate dresses for those guests, their buddies, and the volunteers.
Awesome. So I'm going to give you guys 2 dates, and you may want to contact Miss Stephanie Brown in regards to this to see if it's a gown for someone that you love. So we have Gowns for Girls are scheduled. You're invited. That's on March 14th.
March 14th, we're up at Wesley Chapel for Hope Services Dance Your Dream event.
Absolutely. And then we have another one coming up in Saturday, which is April the 18th. Is that correct? Oh, that's Dance for Your Dream?
That's the actual date of the dance.
Okay. And
so we're doing the giveaway and getting everybody dresses.
All right. So on March 14th, you're giving a giveaway.
Yes.
Okay. And that's going to be located at 7727 Boyd Road in Wesley Chapel?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And that's from 10 to 2, guys. And then Dance Your Dream event is actually taking place on April 18th.
Right.
Okay, and that's going to be from 5 to 8, and that's being done through Hope Services.
Hope Services.
Awesome. Okay, so real quick, guys, before we go into NPR, I want to introduce our next extraordinary woman, Miss Shakari Wilson. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Miss Shakari Wilson from Minority Health Coalition of Pinellas. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for having me.
We're very happy to have you. So what position do you hold over at the Minority Health Coalition?
I am the vice president of the Minority Health Coalition of Pinellas, and I'm a local family medicine physician in St. Pete.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
I've been with the organization for about 2 years now, and a family physician at St. Pete for 15 years or more.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So.
And it's your time of being there, I'm pretty sure you've encountered a lot of things that you see of need for that community.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and as a physician in general, I see the need, but and I've been non-officially a part of the organization in volunteer capacity. So now I'm in a leadership role. So yes, in that period of time, absolutely, we see health disparities and things that we want to call out and help toward making change.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of the change that's taking place as far as the political arena and as far as healthcare has affected you guys a great deal as well.
You know, it's made it more, I guess, at the top of mind right now, but it's been an issue for many years.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Guys, okay, so we're going to come back with Miss Shakari. Should I call you Dr. Shakari?
Dr. Wilson,
Dr.
yeah.
Wilson? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to come back with Dr. Wilson when we turn for NPR. If you have any questions, again, for any of our extraordinary women today, please give us a call at 813-239-9663, or you can email memorabilia at dj@wmnf.org. Again, today we have extraordinary women with us, and we're talking about collaboration, creativity, and community. The overall objective, guys, is give to gain. As you give to others, you gain so much more. You gain love because you're sharing it. So we appreciate you, and we'll be right back after NPR.
WMNF Tampa.
From NPR News in Washington, I'm Louise Schiavone. The Israeli military targeted a hotel in central Beirut today, killing at least 4 people, according to Lebanese health officials. The strike is part of Israel's intensified bombing campaign in Lebanon against the Iran-backed Hezbollah militant group. Strikes have killed nearly 300 people and displaced tens of thousands, according to the Lebanese government. NPR's Hadil Al-Shashi has details from Beirut.
A video shared online showed black smoke billowing from the window of a hotel room in the Ramada Plaza in central Beirut. The Israeli military says it killed 5 Iranian commanders of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard based in Lebanon. It said in a statement that it would, quote, not allow Iranian terrorist elements to establish themselves in Lebanese territory. Israeli strikes have been mainly focused in South Lebanon and the southern suburbs of Beirut, which are considered Hezbollah strongholds. This is the first time it has struck the heart of the capital since the war with Iran began. Hotels like the Ramada in Beirut are full of displaced families fleeing the Israeli bombing in the south. Hadil Al-Shalchi, NPR News, Beirut.
President Trump says he expects more U.S. service members will be killed in the war with Iran. As NPR's Tamara Keith reports, Trump also says the U.S. is winning the war.
Trump spoke with reporters on Air Force One shortly after attending the dignified transfer of 6 U.S. soldiers killed in the war. He said he would only accept unconditional surrender from Iran.
Is where they cry uncle, or when they can't fight any longer and there's nobody around to cry uncle. That could happen too, because we've wiped out their leadership numerous times already. So it's if they surrender or if there is nobody around to surrender.
Asked about sending in ground troops, Trump said it wasn't an appropriate question, but that if it happened, it would have to be for a very good reason. Tamara Keith, NPR News.
In Iran, Israeli jets bombed an oil storage facility in Tehran and set it on fire. Health officials are urging people there to limit their exposure to the toxic substances that now fill the air. 6 people are in custody in New York City after a smoke-generating device was thrown during a protest yesterday at the residence of Mayor Zoran Mamdani. Police say about 20 anti-Muslim protesters were met with counter-protesters. The city's police commissioner, Jessica Tisch, says the bomb squad is determining if the device was a functioning explosive.
The devices, which were a bit smaller than a football, appear to be a jar wrapped in black tape, importantly with nuts, bolts, and screws, along with a hobby fuse that could be lit.
A second device was also found by police. This is NPR News in Washington. Despite global concerns about energy supplies and rising prices, President Trump this weekend is downplaying the idea of turning to the nation's strategic petroleum reserve. Daylight saving time starts today and lasts for another 8 months until we turn the clocks back an hour in the fall. But one Canadian province has turned their clocks permanently, starting a new era of permanent daylight saving. NPR's Ritu Chatterjee reports.
The change means darker mornings and brighter evenings throughout the year in British Columbia. Public health researchers say daylight saving time is linked to more car accidents, more strokes, heart attacks, and obesity cases each year. Because the later start to the day means more people waking up in the dark and going to bed later, which affects our biological clocks and our overall health. Researchers say a permanent shift to daylight saving would also be bad for health. But David Eby, the Premier of British Columbia, says the clock shift is supported by the vast majority of residents.
In British Columbia, we tend to wake up in the dark, take our kids to school in the dark in the winter. We're on the very western edge of the time zone, and so we have dark mornings anyway. People really want that hour at the end of the day.
Ritu Chatterjee, NPR News.
Voters go to the polls in Colombia today as citizens there choose elected representatives and presidential candidates for the country's three major political coalitions. There are 285 legislative positions to be filled and more than 3,000 candidates for office. 41 million citizens are eligible to vote. I'm Louise Schiavone, NPR News, Washington.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include the Wallace Foundation, an independent, nonpartisan research foundation collaborating with grantees and partners in the arts, school leadership, and youth development. More at wallacefoundation.org. This is NPR.
Hi, this is David Diaz with Jazz Connections on WMNF. Friday nights just got cooler with Jazz Connections. Get ready for a deep dive into the soul of jazz from its early roots to its most obscure offshoots. We'll be spinning all the bangers from jazz, funk, soul, blues, disco, hip-hop, smooth jazz, acid jazz, and cowboy bebop. You don't have to be a stiff-collared jazz aficionado to get on our level. No gatekeeping, no jazz police, just glorious, genre-bending chaos. Tune in, cut loose, and you might just find your new next obsession. Jazz Connections, Friday nights at midnight to 3 a.m. on WMNF 88.5 FM Tampa.
All right, yes. You can never go wrong with Miss Aretha. Queen, Miss Aretha, yes. Respect. So again, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Forum. We're now in the second hour, and I'm speaking with some extraordinary women today. Why? Because this is Women's Month, and specifically today is International Women's Day. But as you know, I always say, and I'm going to say it again, we're women every day, and we are black every day. Appreciate the months, but still, we're those things every day, okay? All right, so with our extraordinary women that we have today, we've already spoken with our co-host, Miss Erica Hardison. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
We also spoke with Miss Stephanie Brown for Gowns for Girls. So thank you very much for being here.
Oh, thank you.
And our next extraordinary woman that came into the studio with us today is Dr. Shakari Wilson.
Hello.
Okay,
Thank
she's
you.
with us from Minority Health Coalition of Pinellas, and we ended the first segment with her telling us about what she does at that location. She's the vice president, and we asked a question before going to NPRs. What are some of the difficulties that you found, at that location with all the changes in the healthcare?
I think the difficulties that are most that I can think of that are challenging is that disparate care, despite advances in medical technology and things that we use to improve outcomes for patients, we find that there are still outcomes that are not unbalanced in certain communities, and that can be disheartening for physicians who just want the best for their patients.
Right.
I think the biggest challenge is one of the biggest challenges is healthcare bias, and another huge one is mistrust amongst the patients. And so one of our goals is to provide forums where patients feel a place of comfort where they can have their questions answered without, in an open forum where they feel comfortable, get those questions answered, and then we provide health screenings for them to get them more comfortable in recognizing the importance of that. So really, the challenges are that the bias is out there, mistrust is still there, despite the advances that we have to care for patients.
Okay, so I have I like to ask questions that get right to the meat of something. Sure. But before I go there, I want you to tell me, what was your passion that led you towards this type of position?
I've always felt a need to help, and that's probably what's led me to medicine in general. I feel like being engaged in the community has been a part of who I am as a person, and caring for people at their most vulnerable state is one of the gives me the biggest joy in what I do. And in recognizing within certain communities, and patients tell me this, that, they feel unheard sometimes, or, they're so happy to find a doctor that looks like them and things like that. So that drives me even more in that way. And experiencing disparity myself as a physician and in my own pregnancy story. I had a health issue there, and recognizing that, and we hear the stories all the time. But even in the 21st century, that these things are still happening. So that drives me.
Exactly. And I'm happy to hear you make that statement that they feel heard. They feel seen, and they somebody that looks like them. Because, so I come from a place where physicians used to actually call you back and check up on you, see how you're doing and so forth. They would take the time. They don't do that anymore. You're in the waiting room longer than you're in the room with the physician. And it blows my mind, So when I do see a physician that takes the time, and it doesn't even matter to me if it's a nutritionist, and I'm making that for my own personal self, because I have a nutrition that literally picks up the phone and calls me, and saying, how's everything working out? Try this next time, things to that effect. You don't get that anymore. You don't get that one-on-one attention. Yeah. And I think it's because so many things have changed in the healthcare. Doctors, with the lack of a better term, they're afraid to give the service that they want to, because they feel they're going to be arrested in some situations, And then because of the cuts and things that have been done, they're not being paid. It's so many different variables in the healthcare industry that, as a patient, they're scared. They're nervous because they don't know what. But as a physician, how does that impact you?
It's huge. And a lot of what you're talking about, you're seeing it from the patient side too, and of course me from the physician side. And so a part of my career, for about 5 years of my career, I was in academics, teaching doctors on how to care, to hone their skills. These are already graduated physicians, and also teaching pre-med students too that come through the clinic. And one of the things I try to have them take away from is that we are all patients. That's right. Even though I'm a physician, and this is before I even had my own issue, but we are all patients. So think about how would you like a physician to treat you?
Absolutely.
No matter who comes through the door, because every patient that comes through the door has a different background, different experiences. So that's one of the teaching points I always, try to make sure that my students and residents understood. And like you said, the landscape is changing in so many ways. Medicine is becoming more corporatized, which I'm in the generation of physicians where I saw things prior to heavily corporatized medicine. I started in private practice, like a true private practice, and then now we are many. It's hard to escape it.
Right.
It's becoming more corporatized. So I think that's a lot of it of what you're describing. Too is waiting rooms and long wait times and things like that. Just trying to get as many patients in as we can, and then really another big issue, kind of beside that, is there's just a shortage of primary care physicians, right? So primary care clinicians in general. So then there's that. But I'm proud to be a family medicine physician, and I went into that specialty with the intention that I want to be that doctor that you're talking about, that takes care of the whole family, that calls my patients back. I'll tell you a secret. Some of my patients have my phone number. Might not be the best thing, but and I give it to who I know need it, the most vulnerable, and they really don't abuse it. Thank goodness. Don't give it out, people. But they're listening. But as a physician, you're a community member. You got to put yourself out there. So yeah, I my dream is to be that doctor, right? But it's tough.
I love what you said, because unfortunately that is true. It is a shortage of primary care physicians, because most people are seen now by the PAs, which is a physician assistant.
Yeah.
And you don't get that one-on-one attention because they trying to get you in and get you out as quick as possible. And that's very disappointing, because if you truly do have an illness, you want somebody to take the time to explain to you why they're throwing you on this medication, because again, it's all about medication for the pharmacist, and I'm not a medicated person. I really am not. My doctor will tell me, and don't feel bad because I have my personal physician's phone number and my and
you're that patient, huh?
I am. I have their personal number as well. But I'm like you. I don't abuse it. It's only if it's really important. But it's difficult. But the reason that the patients feel that way, again, speaking from that side of it, it's like, my health is in your hands.
And it's important. It's an important aspect for individuals just being, right?
My health is in your hands, and you're telling me this is wrong with me. Tell me how to make it better. Don't just give me another medication, because even if you're looking at the commercials, you're giving me a medication for a nosebleed, but it's going to cause diarrhea and all these other side effects. Tell me another way. Give me another option. Give me home remedies, something, that don't cost so much. Because, again, all the stuff you're giving me, it costs money.
Right.
And I'm on a fixed income. How do I afford it?
Right. And this is a part of the art of medicine. Again, recognizing that each person is an individual coming in. We don't know what their experiences are. In their family, they might have had family members that had horrible outcomes. They're afraid to come to the doctor. They have financial concerns. Right. So, primary care is a lot to consider when one individual person walks through the door. But recognizing the healthcare disparities too. So there's just so much that, as a physician, we have to take into account, and the training needs to kind of build us up to that. And that's an important part of it too, is training future physicians to recognize these things that can cause disparate care. As far as for the Minority Health Coalition, Kenneth Bryant is a local, he's retired, but he's a urologist in St. Petersburg, and he found in the early 90s, and mind you, this has been for many years, but decades, but in the early 90s, he found that this disparate care was happening. So he, along with the Black Nurses Association, came together to form the Minority Health Coalition. And it's truly, as a coalition, we want to be collaborative with our community partners and providing safe spaces for patients to come and get healthcare screenings and recognize the importance of preventive care. As one aspect of just as a person's just that global health of the patient, right? So But we're excited. We're excited to be in the community and do these things, not just behind the closed door of the office, right? The clinic.
I like how you've went over to as far as minority clinic, because there's always been a shortage of that as well. It has, and one, because we know they can't always afford it and what have you. So there's a shortage, but to have physicians specifically sign up for that because they acknowledge it is a beautiful thing. Yeah. So I see you are a doctor, of course, but now you're also the vice president of the Minority Health Clinic. So coming from just being inside and having your own private practice, that now you're overseeing the doctors and you're making sure that the policies and the procedures and that one-on-one FaceTime, and the empathy and everything is there. How are you handling that? What's that transition like?
As a physician and physicians in general, we are taught that we are leaders, and we have to recognize that. We are seen as people of higher education, so we have to portray that and recognize that. Bit by bit, we become very resilient in these things. So it's a lot. It's not enough hours in the day to get it all done. We're working on the weekends and taking our free time to do these things, but it's so rewarding. It really just, like I told you, I have just the drive of seeing what we can help with people who need the help. It drives us. It drives us to do it. So right now we are actually in the process of planning our flagship annual event, the African American Health Forum, which is another collaborative effort with the Foundation for a Healthy St. Pete, Center for Health Equity. We come together once a year. This is our second event in collaboration with the Center for Health Equity, but this is actually our 20th year of the forum. We're excited about that. We're holding this event on April 18th. Awesome. We are going to have, it's a health fair, if you will, or a resource fair. We will have vendors, a variety of vendors. One of our biggest vendor cohort is the health department. They're going to have different agencies there. We're going to be providing free health screenings, high blood pressure screenings, diabetes, mental health screenings, because that we have to always acknowledge that for sure. We're going to be talking about maternal health, mortality, and preventive care. And one of the most important things that our participants mention to us after we conclude these events is that, and especially our participants of color, is how they're like, I didn't know there were so many doctors of color in our area.
That part.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And so they feel, again, a little bit of let that guard down, like, oh, maybe I can find someone I feel like, where I feel like my voice will be heard. So that's exciting. So we're going to have a group of physicians there just hanging out, providing education, and hopefully share their information so patients know where to find them.
I want you to mention that location again and the date. Okay, we know you said April 18th because I want to make sure you send us that information so Billy can put it on our website.
Yes.
So what date will it be held?
It's the same date as I think one of Stephanie's events,
I know,
but different time.
Same date.
Different time. So we're going to be at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. April 18th at the Center for Health Equity. Their address, I think, is 2333 34th Street South in St. Pete, and I'll send you the info. Okay. For more information, listeners can go to our website at mhcpinellas.com, and that's also our Instagram handle, mhcpinellas. And our information is there. The Center for Health Equity also has the information available as well.
Is there a phone number as well?
There's not a phone number. We have an email address, mhcp1994@gmail.com. Okay. And feel free to email. We are looking for volunteers to help with the event the day of. So please feel free to email us at mhcp1994@gmail.com. We're happy to have volunteers. And it's a fun day. We are going to have a forum at the beginning. We're going to talk to survivors of illness and their clinicians as well. We're excited, keynote speaker, Dr. Ali Green. He is a professor and has studied healthcare disparities for most of his career. He's going to be giving us a keynote address. After that, we're going to have free lunch, healthy lunch, might be vegan, hopefully.
It's a wonderful event.
Yes, and Erica was there last year, which is wonderful. And we're going to have live music, and it's going to be fun. Line dancing pops off just randomly. And even though it is called the African American Health Forum, I always like to end with that this is open to everyone in the community. It is called African American Health Forum because we want to call attention to that. But we invite everybody to attend. We want to provide these health screenings to the community. And one quick point, we recognize that within certain zip codes, healthcare disparities are more present in certain zip codes. So we are in a zip code where these healthcare disparities are happening, and it is a diverse area. So we invite everyone to come on out. And again, it's a fun time.
Pinellas is doing some big things, my Billy. They're doing some big things, okay? All right, so we do have some callers on the line. Okay, guys, continue to call in, 813-239-9663. This is the Sunday Forum. We're speaking with some extraordinary women. You were just listening to Dr. Shakari Wilson and letting you know the great events that's happening over in Pinellas County. I'm very happy to hear about it because we talk about what happened to black hospitals. You know, we don't have those anymore. So for you to be in charge of that, I'm very happy. We're going to take a first caller, though. Good morning, caller. You on the air? Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Is this me? Hi.
It's you.
I'm calling in. Zinzele, Erica told me about this. Radio show, and my name's Olivia, and I'm an activist and event organizer. I've been volunteering and involved with community groups for many years. But recently I've been throwing electronic music events that are kind of community-driven, purposeful.
And I think Olivia is going to come on after Dr. Shakira and tell us a little more. So great to hear your voice, Olivia.
Okay,
Thank you. No, just stay on the line.
Just hold on for us, Olivia. Go ahead, Mobility. Just try the next one. Hold on for us, Olivia. We'll come back to you. Good morning, caller. You on the air?
Yeah, good morning. This is Eduardo. I'm going to be quick. So I go to those Florida Blue events. They have the lunch and learns, and they do exercises and games and dancing. So that's a great thing. You, by the way, for people who are not tech savvy, do you guys go door to door in the community and let them know, hey, you know, we're having this community event going on? Do you have volunteers for that?
We don't have volunteers for that. Actually, last year our immediate past president went door to door himself to do that. Because like I said, we are full-time. We work full-time, and, you know, we're 9-to-5ers. And so this is where we would appreciate the volunteer help to help get the word out. Absolutely. So please email us if you're interested in doing that.
You going to volunteer, Eduardo?
Well, no, because I'm in Tampa. I believe you're in
There's some positions in Tampa that need your help in some events as well.
I appreciate you bringing it to light.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eduardo. So, Dr. Shakari, again, like I said, I'm so happy to hear that you guys are doing this because we do need something like that in Tampa as well. But you guys are doing some awesome things. I mean, Erica, you with the co-op and whatnot, and now you with the minority health. The doctors that come on board, so I know you said there's a shortage. So is everyone there, all the doctors that's there of minorities? They're all minorities?
Most. I mean, again, we like to promote diversity, you know, and equity and inclusion in what we do. But yes, mostly black and brown physicians, awesome. Asian physicians as well. You know, we want to get more recognition that our Vietnamese community is a community that needs that support too. So yeah, we do. Black and brown mostly.
I love that because that is truly needed. Now, in regards to what Eduardo was saying, that is true. So how are you guys promoting everything? Is this information on Facebook? What are your social media?
Yes, on our social media site, MHC Pinellas, the Center for Health Equity has been assisting us with that as well. I don't know their website, but if you Google the Center for Health Equity, on their events page, we are there. We have our Facebook page. And
community partners, like One Community Grocery Co-op.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
So we spread the word.
Yes.
And I just wanted to jump in here because we spread the word. And one of the things that I think is very powerful is when you come to these events, you can actually meet your doctors.
Exactly.
And like Dr. Shakira was saying, there are physicians that it seems more accessible because sometimes when they're in their white lab coats, you're like, okay, what do you got to tell me? But in the event, everyone is I'm trying to think of people are dressed like regular people, right?
Right.
And so
some people come, and some of the physicians come in their scrubs because that's what they wear every day anyway. They probably don't have any other clothes. But no white coats. No white coats allowed.
Yeah, no. But it's a fabulous event, and the health screenings. I mean, it gives you the opportunity. It's a free event too, so
it is.
Most you can just come for stay a little while or stay the whole day. But the important thing is the connections that are being made and the collaboration, and it's a creative event. Like you said, it's fun. We take selfies. And we're there with fresh, organic, locally grown produce.
You got to connect with the food right there.
Yeah, no, we're already connected.
Yes.
Shakira, Dr. Shakari excuse me, I know another Dr. Shakira, so I always get them mixed up. But Dr. Shakari comes to our events and different things like that. So it's really about creating that community and being connected. Because sometimes we go into the doctor's office and we're already on the defensive. We're
immediately,
like, what you got to tell me?
Right.
I thought I was doing well. I'm trying to be compliant. But this is a way for people to find resources so that they can be compliant, get information so that if they have something going on, they can receive follow-up and things like that, and do it in a setting that's in the community.
And they feel safe.
And it is definitely a safe space.
Let me ask you, Dr. Shakari, so when someone comes to the Minority Health Coalition and they don't have insurance, how is that handled?
So we are not a clinic. Okay. We don't provide health care. We are a nonprofit that with our mission is to eliminate healthcare disparities. And how we are doing that is by first recognizing that they exist and talk about it, bring the forums to the community to talk about it, that these things exist. And primarily we are doing that also by collaborating with community partners, as Erica mentioned. So we are individual physicians. We work at different locations. So we have partnered with the Free Clinic of Pinellas County, which is an amazing place. And I recommend them to patients who are uninsured, and they take care of patients under the age of 65, adult patients who are uninsured, and the health department as well. I am not in private practice anymore, but in our private practice, we would provide like sliding scale fees right now. But we're excited to see, more primary care physicians going out and doing things like direct primary care, things like that, where you can work on, have like a membership model and tiered fees and things like that.
As the vice president of the coalition, where do you see you guys expanding?
I love that question, and I wanted to talk about that too. I think I see the vision and the mission for us is we're in the community, but also broaden our scope and try to get into spaces where there are the decision makers that can help us promote things a little more, maybe on our government side, our local government side. So I'm hopeful that, as we continue to grow, that we can do that more often, talk to our leaders and see what we can do to make that change in the community and make it stick.
So going a little deeper on that side right there, because here at Sunday Forum, we always tell our listeners, these local elections are very important, because these are the ones that directly impact you. So what will be one of the things that you would look for your local politicians and say, okay, we need to do this more that will help the coalition?
I think first and foremost that to state that we recognize that these things exist and the help is needed. I think it's easy to say, well, everybody things seem to be okay, but no, let's just voice that healthcare disparities exist. Right. Definitely in the minority community, but listen, in the women's community, women's care within every individual kind of cohort of things within the pediatric community, and then within that, the minority community bears the brunt of the healthcare disparity, but disparities happen in every community, right? So if we speak that, so we find allies that recognize that and are willing to speak that truth, that it is these things are happening and help is needed.
How can you get assistance, or how are you guys doing with your funding?
We are, again, partnering with the Foundation for Healthy St. Pete, and so grateful. They've been generous and allowing us a grant for some of our funding. Orlando Health has been generous as well, the Orlando Health Foundation, and they've helped us well with some financial support. And so more of that, hopefully we can get out there and then expand that. Like I said, this organization's been around since the early 90s. And I see a vision where we grow. And I had someone email us about Tampa, a physician that said, how can we start
it's needed,
right? A branch of the Minority Health Coalition in Tampa. So things like that. I'm hopeful that we can get more support financially and just more individual support to work on.
Well, if there's anyone out there listening, yes, this is something that's definitely needed here in Tampa because we do not have a Minority Health Coalition, and it is needed because there are a lot of areas that's the disparity areas that's going through this right here, that they don't have access to good health care. They don't have access to doctors that look directly like them, and they don't have access to doctors that understand what they're going through. They feel safe and comfortable saying, okay, this is going on and so forth. You're going to these big hospitals, and if you're going to urgent care, Advent Health, anything like that, there are fees that are attached to that, and they cannot always afford it. So that's definitely needed. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, again, we are speaking to some extraordinary women. It is now 9:35. We have two more extraordinary women on the line with us that we're going to go ahead and connect to. What's the next one we're going to play real quick one, Billy? And then we'll come back. I got to hear me some positive music, guys, because we need that. We need that music. We need that positive empowerment women music.
This is a dance remix of I'm Every Woman.
I Am Every Woman. Yes, we are, ladies, okay? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Mix the best brew, put fire inside of you. Anytime you feel sad.
All right, we are back. You have to love Whitney. I'm every woman. It's all in me. Don't laugh at my singing, y'all. Y'all listen to Walter with his sticking his lips out. Don't laugh at my song. Okay, so we are back with our extraordinary women. We just finished up with Dr. Shakari Wilson. We have Miss Erica Hardison as the co-host today. Of course, she is the one that handles the One Community co-op in Pinellas County. Dr. Shakari Wilson's with the Minority Health Coalition in Pinellas. And we also had Miss Stephanie Brown, Gowns for Girls, here in Tampa. So we have been speaking with some extraordinary women that have been giving you guys some information and some resources that's available to you in your community. We have two more extraordinary women on the line with us. We're about to bring one of them on now. Hello, Miss Gevi Robinson. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. How you doing? Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Ms. Gevi Robinson, tell us a little bit about Black Voters Matters and how you got involved and what's your passion for that.
Okay. Well, Black Voters Matter, actually, this is our 10-year anniversary this year. It was created founded 20 years ago. It's actually Black Voters Matter Capacity Building Institute.
Okay.
And the goal is to increase power in marginalized, predominantly Black communities. And just briefly, we have 5 core beliefs. Can I share those with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the key to effective civic engagement and community power is understanding, respecting, and supporting local infrastructure. Black voters matter not only on election day, but on the 364 days between election days as well. So that means we have to support individuals and organizations that are striving to obtain social justice throughout the year. Black voters matter everywhere, including rural counties, smaller cities, towns that are often ignored by candidates, elected officials, political parties, and the media. And in order for Black voters to matter, we must utilize authentic messaging that speaks to our issues, connects with our hopes, and affirms our humanity. And this last one is especially important today because I believe this is National Women's Day, but this is Women's Month. Mm-hmm. And it says the leadership, talent, and commitment demonstrated by Black women in particular must receive recognition and, more importantly, investment in order to flourish and multiply.
I love that, Gabby, 100%, because Miss Annie says that every Sunday on the Sunday Forum. You are absolutely right. We tell our listeners, your vote matters, Black vote matters, and please clearly understand it's not just on that one day. I know you said 364, but I say 365 days of the year. All of that, your voice matters. And the fact that you mentioned, yes, it is, and specifically today, it is International Women's Day, and it is Women's Month, but as I stated previously on the show, we're women every day. We're women every day, just like we're Black every day. So just because we have that 1 month that, they were so generous to give to us, and they're giving us this 1 month to be in Black and everything, that's us every day. That's us every day. So all this fight that you have, all this, this energy and this passion, that should be with you every single day. Every single day. So thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Since February, it was a lot of foolishness happened last month. So we're going to have Black History Year.
There you go.
I'm calling this Civil Rights March. That's what we do.
All right. I like that. Okay. I like that. So tell me, how did you get involved with Black Voters Matter?
Oh, with Black Voters
Capacity building. I'm trying to get the whole word out there for you. Go ahead.
Black Voters Matter Capacity Building Institute. Well, actually, I've been organizing. My career in another life, I was a college professor. And even during that time, I was always organizing in some way. I don't know if you recall, but back in 2016, I was at Clemson University when we had the psych shut-in where we actually, the students and the faculty helped shut down the administration building for like 9 days.
Wow. Do you remember that, Billy?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I think so.
I was asking him if he remembered that because he's initially from Tampa. I'm not, so I want to know if he remembered that. Continue.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was, and so it's just been something that I've always done from my parents. I'm the daughter, granddaughter, great-granddaughter of preachers. And so my dad was always very active, and my mom. And so it's always something that's been instilled in me. But quite honestly, I got involved with Black Voters Matter after I moved to Florida and was teaching at USF. And I was there when all of these things started coming down with DEI, you know. And as someone who was the vice president of the Black Faculty and Staff Association, and I was also a senator in the union, I was very vocal about what was happening. And that actually led to me walking away from that profession and deciding to do organizing full time. And that's how it happened.
Wow. And I can hear the passion in your voice. You sound like me. You're very outspoken, very direct. So that's a good thing. Because sometimes, but you have to be that way. So people can clearly understand what you're saying and why you're saying and you're passionate about, because you care about your community. You care about others. I want to say this to all you extraordinary ladies. It is so important. It is so important that the message that I want our listeners to know, if nothing else, is that, again, give to gain. You know, you're taking time, you're giving your time, your passion, your care, your empathy, all of that, and you're gaining so much. And the people that are receiving your resources are gaining as well. And that is what's so important to me. That's why Miss Annie loved this platform right here. I'm very thankful for Walter for that. Because I've been a resource for people since I was 17. I just didn't know what I was doing. You know, but God will constantly take you to the next level. So thank you so much for that. Let me ask you a question, Gabby. So in your community, when you started this, when you say, well, you know what, I'm stepping away from corporate and all this other nonsense, I'm going to do this, I'm going to start a grassroots. What was the feedback that you got from your community?
No. I didn't start. Actually, I got hired. I'm the Central Florida lead regional organizer with Black Voters Matter. So I have every county in Central Florida is my territory. And but in order to start with the community, I've been in St. Pete 7 years this year. I had never even been to St. Petersburg before I moved here to take the job at USF, and I love it. The word community is one that I tell people all the time. That's what I love about this city. The Black community, it's like you feel connected. I have neighbors who call me auntie, right? And so, but seeing the disparity in resources and treatment right now, there's a campaign that we're having. It's called No Sight, No Silence, because in South St. Petersburg there is no early voting location, like none. And the supervisor of elections has refused. We have not been able to get a meeting with her in almost a year. April will be 1 year.
Wow.
Right? And so seeing the way, but I'm sure if we were somewhere else, you know, like the northern part of the county that has early voting sites, we would be able to get a meeting, but we can't. And that's one of the things. And actually, in Pinellas County, there was a 19% voter turnout disparity between Black and white voters. It's the largest in the state. And so something definitely needs to be done. And so that's what we're doing now. We had a town hall. We're calling on the supervisor of elections to show up, because as an elected official, they work for us. Is that not true?
That is 100% correct. True.
Exactly.
Yes.
And our tax dollars pay their salaries. So that's like, if you're my employee and I ask you for a meeting and you're like, nah, I'm good. No, it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you, is one of the reasons that you don't have an early voting, is it due to redistricting? You know how they've been doing the redistricting and everything? Is it due to that?
No, it's been before that. They haven't had. I was told that other organizations have been trying to get something since 2019. No, it's not because of that. It's not because of that.
So this whole time, you guys have never had an early voting location in that area?
I heard from people who've lived here, like older people, that years ago there used to be an early voting site in South St. Petersburg that they can remember, but that was like decades ago. Now they don't. It's been years and years.
So they have to go over to another county to do any early voting, or they just can't do it at all unless they mail it in?
They have to go to Gulfport, which is in Pinellas County, but it's not in St. Petersburg. Gulfport is another city. In addition to that, Gulfport was a sundown town, right? It has the lowest voting turnout, early voting turnout of all of the sites. And so when we finally, after 4 or 5 months of trying, got a meeting with not the supervisor of elections, because she's not showing up, but the deputy who was not an elected official, they didn't even know what a sundown town was, right? And exactly.
And Gabby, I'm sorry, can you explain what a sundown town is for those listeners who may not know?
Okay, so a sundown town, historically, those were towns where black people were basically told, when the sun, if whatever business you have over here, get it done before the sun goes down. Because if the sun goes down and you're here, you might not make it home, basically. It was one of those places where, we just couldn't go. And, I mean, Gulfport isn't necessarily running away from that. Everybody knows, Well, apparently not everybody, because he didn't know.
Let me ask you, Gabby. So there's been no reporting on this? I mean, the news didn't pick it up and talk about it? No one's saying anything when it comes down to election time? Nobody's speaking on this?
Here's the thing. When we had our town hall on January 31st, we had a town hall. We invited the media, right? Mm-hmm. None of them showed up. I wrote a column about it. I'm also a journalist. So I wrote a column about it that's in the Weekly Challenger now. I wrote a column telling everybody about it. The community came out. It was a great event. But a few weeks ago, I did hear from Trey Johnson at the Gabber. And so now she's attaching herself to the move. We've been talking, and she's reading over everything. So that's one person. And I'm here on the radio now. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah. But again, it speaks to the lack of concern and the lack of urgency that people feel when these issues are happening within the black community.
Well, one of the things I've always said this on the show as well, until something actually happens, they're going to always look at it as not an emergency. See, it may be urgent to us, but it's not urgent to them. They don't care. Right. But I do want to say this, and I'm so glad that you are here on the show today, because we can have you come back on again. We can have you come back on again so we can discuss this. So this is very important, because I think a lot of our listeners don't know. A lot of our listeners don't know. And like Erica just stated, they probably didn't know what a sundown town was. So thank you for clarifying that as well. But we definitely want to have you back on, because they need to know that your voice matters. But if you don't speak up, nothing can be done. And why are you giving these people a seat at the table if they're not serving you? Because they do work for us. They do work for us. So
and I will say this. I know there's someone else coming, but when I come on, I would also like to talk about the Louisiana versus Calais case, the Voting Rights Act. Back in October, Black Voters Matter took 8 buses from 7 different states up to Washington, D.C. to hear the arguments. There's an incredible sister, Janae Nelson, who argued in front of the Supreme Court. And we're waiting for the decision that could cause the overturning of Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And that's very important.
Wow. So, Gabby, take my number. I don't mind giving over the air, because I know how to hang up and not answer the phone. So I don't mind. 813-846-8669. So you'll have my direct line. And that way we can get together and set something for you to come in, okay, into the studio, if you're able to do that, to come to Tampa, okay? Please stay on the line with us, because I want you to give your information, if you can, real quick, on how, if people want to get involved with Black Voters Matters, how they can contact you, the website, and so forth. So go ahead with that.
Okay.
I'd also like to know if you can send a link to your article to DJ.
Oh, most definitely.
DJ at WMNF.org. DJ at WMNF.org. And if you could also send it to me in a text as well when you call me.
Okay. All right. Hold on. One more time. Give me your number.
813.
I've been running around trying to find my ink pen. Okay, give it to me one more time.
813-846-8669.
846-8669.
Yes, ma'am. Now, tell us the website or how people can reach out to you if they need to be a part of Black Voters Matters.
Okay, it's Black Voters Matter Fund, FUND, and make sure you put the S on voters. blackvotersmatterfund.org.
Okay. Text that to dj@wmnf.org as well, so Mobilia have that so he can put it on the website. Before we go to, thank you so much, Gabby. You can stay on the line. Okay. Before we close out and get with Olivia, I want to let all the extraordinary women know I'm going to come around so you guys can give your information one more time to make sure for any listeners that just coming in, they'll have it as well. Okay? Okay. All right. Hold on, Gabby. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Good morning, Olivia.
Hey, good morning.
Okay, I'm glad you're still with us. Thank you so much for your patience. All right, so I don't have your information, but just tell me, because you was also recommended as an extraordinary woman by our co-host here, Miss Erica Hardison. So tell me a little bit about you, Olivia. I know you mentioned a little bit, but let's recap.
Yes. My name is Olivia, and my organization is Galactic Sound and Magic, and I've been an activist and event organizer for a long time, and recently I kind of discovered that those two things go really well together. Working in organizations before, we would find that most people show up to meetings when they're fun and at a brewery or like an event where people can come together. And kind of on the opposite end, I've noticed my experiences in the dance music scene, that things have become more corporate and whitewashed and very vapid. So I was trying to see how those two things could come together in something, and I created Galactic Sound and Magic, where I host events and collaborate others to throw community-driven, purposeful electronic dance music parties. So kind of like on the subjects that we've talked about this morning, house and techno parties have historically been countercultural spaces. Black and queer and women have been underrepresented in these spaces for a long time. So by working with people like Erica of One Community Grocery Co-op to table at these events or to host speakers, we have an event coming up called Earth Night, which is actually not just one night, but it's 5 days of programming from April 22nd to April 26th at Sweet E. That's partnered with a global effort, DJs for Climate Action, that's going to be hosting a documentary, various talks, workshops, with live music and DJs throughout. So it's going to be like a almost week-long event where people are having fun, but also learning about things that they can do and things in the community needs while they're doing that. And
you are an extraordinary woman, Olivia. Before we close out, I want you to go ahead and give your website on how people can contact you if they want to get involved. If you can go ahead and give that information, and I also want you to email it to dj@wmnf.org. So what's your website and how they can contact you?
I'm mostly on social media, but you can look up Galactic Sound and Magic on Instagram or Facebook, and also Sweet E Studios on Instagram or Facebook, and also a quick Google will take you to their Eventbrite, where we will be posting the full Earth Night programming from April 22nd to April 26th, and I will email you my contact information as well.
Awesome. And if you took my number down when I gave it to Gabby, you can contact me as well. So, ladies, again, thank you so much, all these extraordinary women we've had with us today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go around, like I said, just give you information real quick. I'm going to start with Miss Stephanie Brown.
All right, Gowns for Girls. Our next event is March 28th at King High School, which is on 56th Street in Tampa, 10 to 2. Students get free prom dresses. Come shop with us.
Awesome. Dr. Shakari Wilson.
Yes, I'm with the Minority Health Coalition. Our upcoming event is the African American Health Forum, April 18th, 10 to 2 at the Center for Health Equity, 2333 34th Street South in St. Petersburg. You can go to our Instagram page at MHC Pinellas and email us at mhcp1994@gmail.com for more information.
And you did mention a date for the event?
April 18th, that's Saturday.
Okay, perfect. And of course, our esteemed co-host, Miss Erica Hardison.
Yes, One Community Grocery Co-op, and it's ocgc.coop. You can reach us on socials at One Community Grocery Co-op, and that's COOP, spelled like coop, but it's co-op. And we are just excited, and thank you to all the guests who joined us. And if you want to find out more about these guests, please look on our socials, on our website, and we'll connect you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, guys, again, to all of our listeners,
and
every
Gevra,
Sunday. Gevy?
Oh, yes. It's blackvotersmatterfund.org. If you'd like to contact me directly, it's GEV like Victor, ERYL at blackvotersmatterfund.org. And 2 events coming up. We have a Black Voters Education meeting on Thursday the 12th at Central Street Barbershop and Grooming. And then on Saturday the 14th, there is a community day in Egypt Lake at the community center, and you can contact me for more information about that. And that is sponsored by Magnified Voices, magnifiedvoices.org.
Okay, perfect. And real quick, Olivia, just give your website and everything again, because I'm going to have you guys send all your information to dj@wmnf.org, just in case we've missed anyone. But go ahead real quick, Olivia.
It's just Galactic Sound and Magic on social media, as well as Sweet E Studios. A quick Google with Sweet E Studios will take you to some events that are upcoming with them.
Perfect. All right. Thank you again to all our extraordinary women. Remember, today's show was about collaboration, creativity, and community, because it's Women's Month, but we're women every day. And as Walter says to you every day before we sign off with you guys on Sunday morning, we love you, and there's not a thing you can do about it. And as Miss Annie always says, blessings and prosperity to us all. Keep in mind, the main thing is give to gain. Give to gain, because I promise you, the smallest thing that you do can mean so much more to someone else. And we're all connected. Give to gain, because you're touching lives of people that you may never, ever meet, but just know you had a part in making something better and bigger than yourself. Our communities are connected, guys. We love you. Thank you.
Postmark, who